Hi, I'm Bert from Rally Moto. We're out on a recce today. We're just going to take you through the process today and show you what happens behind the scenes to put one of the sort of Wales 500s together. So today what we're going to do is, this is the first time we've been in this forest in terms of a Wales 500. Rally Moto has actually organised events here before. We've planned out a route and we're going to do a run through before we write the road book. So we know we've got the tracks that are available and are all big bike suitable. Then we write the road book, then we come back and do a double check on the road book later on. Today we basically just entered the forest and we're going to continue on the tracks we've marked out. We're going to check A, all the tracks are there that are marked out on the map, and B, they're big bike compatible basically, so we know you guys can ride them. So we're looking for nice big gravel tracks, easy trails, and we can perhaps some places where we can put some tricky navigation together for you, just to catch you out a little bit. Can't make it too easy now, can we? Just talking to the walkers, see if they come here on a regular basis, and we just tell them the event's going to happen in a couple of weeks' time if they're regulars. Those people weren't regulars, this is a one-off, so they won't be here in a couple of weeks' time. Oh, I know where we are. So we kind of constantly monitor phone signal. There's no phone signal here at the moment, so that affects how we place people when we do the rally. So affects how we do sort of medical teams, affects where we put the marshals, etc. It's not quite as it says on the map. This is a triangle here. Let's go and see what happens. Let's go down the lower one first because it looks like a bigger road. It doesn't cut back up, does it? Basically we've done a little loop round just to check that that works. So what I'm going to do now is drive back to where we were and go and work out the tricky triangle bit, because we need a couple of tricky triangles. It's rideable? Yeah? We put them straight up there, then we bring them down that track back to there. That's all rideable.
Yeah.
So then we needed to turn that way, coming out of there. Dear fun, look. It's supposed to be a big road going all the way around the top here.
It's not a big road.
It's not a big road, no. That's no good. What we've got is the end of a gravel track here, a big turning area, but we've got either that as our exit route up there, or we've got a little track going straight on up in front of us there. Probably the easiest one from our point of view would be the little track going up through there. But what we're going to do is probably wander around and see if we can find the other end of it. And when we find the other end of it, to see if we can join us up as a loop, we'll walk it down to see how bad it is. We think we're at the other end of the dead end now, but I don't think the track's viable. I think if you look up there, it's a bit too steep. There's also a bit too much mud on this track. I think if the weather deteriorated, this would be a real problem for big bikes. Yeah, so I think we're back to the drawing board on creating a loop in this area. So we have to think again. Hey ho, it's all part of it. Everything can change. Okay, so what we've done, we've kind of come into the forest this morning, and this route all around here is basically out of bounds. We can't use any of that, so we've had to have a rethink, and we're going to go off and recce this bit and see if this is a workout. But all in all, we've had quite a successful morning. Trails are great going for the big bikes, hard packed. even if there's a deluge of rain, which sometimes happens on the Wales 500, the tracks will all be intact, so we're really happy about that. So far so good. See the windmills in the distance? That's the other forest we're going to come through to get here. So we come all the way through that forest and all the way through this forest here. And this is up the northern end of the course, probably on day 2. We're going to do this side of the course on day 2. So day 2 is a kind of big adventure day. It's, you know, the Wales 500 is looking more like the Wales 600 this year with the amount of tracks we've got to ride. So we're looking at bigger and better each year. So it's been brilliant so far. Working with forestry has been real good. They've come back to us with suggestions for better routes, better use of forest, and better linking things together. So this year we'll be able to give you more off-road tracks than we've ever done before. There's a big drop off here and it's on a sharp corner, and I think we've got another drop off down there, so I think we're going to have to mark this on the roadbook with one of those eyebrows and slow, and maybe even triple exclamation marks, because if you go over there you're not coming back out again. If you're coming over the top, that track down to here is quite fast, so I think we ought to slow people up at the top, and then we've got to slow them down for these corners here because it's a big drop off. That is a really big drop off. Like the track though, track's superb. We're kind of deep inside forestry land now. We actually have to have permission to use these tracks. We even have to have permission to come out and do a recce. Just for us to be here today, we've had to have permission. We have to be identified, we have to wear yellow vests, we have to comply with all forestry health and safety regulations, and be insured to do the recce itself. Also, part of the recce is we check every lock we come across, every gate we come across, so we know we've got the keys to open and close the course on the day when the opening riders and closing riders go through. So we check every single lock, and usually we oil the locks as well, so we maintain the locks for forestry. But are we okay? We've got the key to that one. We're all good. Okay, we're just exploring some new ground. A bit of a tougher track. It's looking all right at the moment. It obviously hasn't been used for quite a long time. Whoa. Yeah, so yeah, it's looking quite promising. A little bit more technical, but still totally rideable on a big bike. There's a nice line running through it. The Land Rover's a bit too wide for this track, but we're okay. Oh, yeah, looking good. Looking good. It's nice to find a few new tracks though. Yeah, great office today. This is the best. Yeah, some of the best places in the world are still on our doorstep. Both these forests now finished today. Route confirmed. Finish off writing the road books, and then we're good to go.